Hello. Okay, for those just joining on Twitch, sorry about that. To the people on Instagram, they're going to have to hear this again. But this live today, we're talking about like Friday the 13th. We're talking about the upcoming eclipse. And then kind of going into Samhain as well and how these things are kind of setting us up astrologically. The reason it's called the Divination Discussion is because I have a lot of decks and things like that I'm going to reference that go along with this theme as well. So as I said before, this is a new moon lunar eclipse in Libra, and Libra is a sign of balance and relationships and also just self-love, but keeping the peace and justice too. And this eclipse is conjunct our North Node right now, so really pay attention to where Libra is in your specific chart to know how it's going to affect you. But all in all, a lot of focus on relationships and personal power. So on that note of personal power, I want to talk about this deck that we have called the Wild Woman Oracle. This is the front of it here. I'm going to kind of lean over so I can make sure you guys are getting a view of it. So for those people on Instagram, Wild Woman, just the back. Okay. And here, Wild Woman deck there. And in the back, some cards. Now, I know this says Hank Sotala. I can't figure out how to get this banner off. And for the purpose of not being later than I am, I'm just going to leave it up. I am not Hank or Melissa. My name's Emily, one of the readers here and also an employee. So this very much goes along with Friday the 13th. This card is Lilith, the first feminist. This deck is really cool because, first of all, just the color scheme, the back of the cards are super visually appealing. That's there. And we all love Lilith, right? So she is the first feminist. The word at the bottom, if you see there, is autonomy, which definitely fits along with Lilith themes, right? So also that goes along with like shadow work and stuff. So weaver of the web. Cooperation. Let me see. Hold on one second. Let me see if that helps. Yes. Okay, cool. So weaver of the web, cooperation. So that talks about how we're all weaving that same web. We're all part of the collective unconscious. And also kind of going along with the eclipse themes of cooperation, because we're cooperating with the universe and co-creating our life. Rise of the inner warrior. It says solidarity. Yeah, we're definitely going to have some warrior moments, right? Yeah, card decks. Yeah, these are all like my favorites, especially too. But kind of fitting along with that theme of Friday the 13th. Yeah, Rise of the Inner Warrior here. We have Persephone. Trying to make sure I can get it in view for you guys. There we go. Maturity. So yeah, but I actually just bought this deck today. And it was so funny because Aaron's like, we have sample cards of that. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to buy it anyway. So this is the Seasons of the Witch, Samhain. And you love the Persephone card. Yes, you did spell that right. Yeah, I thought that was so cool too. It talks about maturity too, because she was like so young and everything. And then kind of this camera zoomed in. Let me see if I can fix it, or if Melissa or Aaron want to come in and you might just all have to see me, to be honest. I think that's going to be the solution here. That's okay. Let me know if this is better. Okay. Okay. I have a hard time with these camera angles, y'all, so bear with me. Okay. But anyway, Seasons of the Witch, the Samhain Oracle. If you are familiar with these, Lorraine Anderson, she does the Mavon Oracle. There's a Beltane Oracle, and I actually heard that they're just coming out with an in-bulk one too. So it's super, super interesting. And also just goes along with like the Wheel of the Year and the Seasons of the Witch, right? So this is the Samhain Oracle. You see if you guys can see that better. Yeah, okay. So the Samhain Oracle, gilded red. So love that. And these are going to be themes of like Halloween, All Hallows Eve, and again, Samhain. So here's the back of the cards. You've seen it. Yes, so altar. I love this card. And this says, a sacred devotion, a worship skin deep, rising from the ash, the waters you keep. So I want to relate that back to the eclipse a little bit and the themes that are going to be happening with that. So it's important to be devoted to other people in relationships, but it's even more important to be devoted to yourself. And I do see kind of a lot of fear mongering going on, or people that are really afraid of the events that are happening, especially since the eclipse is by Friday the 13th and all of that. But honestly, there is nothing to be afraid of. This is genuinely an amazing time to manifest and also just to revisit some of the things of our past. Let me see if I can switch this to a front camera. Your favorite deck for this season? Okay. Yeah, I'll just be in frame for everybody. I'm glad that that's better for you. Thank you for bearing with me while I'm working out the kinks, okay? Ancestors. So it says, they hiss a quivering so deep. Only the roots of your soil can lift the nakedness hidden within, the vows made in silence, an ancient chill walking upon the spine. That is cool. Obviously, Samhain's an excellent, excellent time to honor your ancestors. The veil is very thin at this time. A great time to kind of get this deck and honor them too. I think it's really cool having the seasonal decks because it really does kind of force you to be present in that moment and honor that cycle. To taste, one must swallow it whole. So this is apples. One must swallow it whole, and beneath the satin flame hides drowning waters. It's beautiful. So, like, you know, it has the spooky theme. This one's Banshee. But it's not overly, like, horror-filled, I guess. Bat. Black cat. So definitely this is my vibe, for sure. Let me see if I can switch the camera view really quick so that way I can see all of your comments. Okay, I think I figured it out. Bear with me. Okay, yes, got it. That way I can see your comments. It might make it a little bit easier. All right, cool. Okay. All right. So the really cool thing, I don't know if Divine Blue, you said that was like your favorite deck for this season. I don't know if you saw. Hello, Danita. I don't know if you saw that we have this Seasons of the Witch Samhain journal too. So obviously, aesthetically, these go together, right? And it kind of has like shadow work prompts in there. I kind of got to hold it in front of my face for y'all to see it. So, because I want to make sure I'm keeping up on comments too. I'm doing really good. We're actually doing a Friday the 13th. Oh, you haven't seen it, Divine Blue. Okay, cool. Yeah. But we're doing like a Friday the 13th event at the store. We're just going to have a little bonfire, kind of write down some stuff that we're trying to let go of, some of the ways that we might think we're like unlucky, and create our own good luck. So kind of goes along with this theme too of shadow work and allowing yourself to go past your upper limits. So this is one of the pages like coming of winter, right? each one of these is going to have like a journal prompt. So it says, reflect upon the past year without judgment, acknowledge your successes, and learn from your failures. So that's just one of them. Divination. So that's just like a divination prompt for you. This is a really cool one. Again, talking about like honoring your ancestors. So it's elders. Think of an elder in your family or a mentor from your life. Describe the advice they'd give to you. How can you apply this life or this advice to your life today? That is super meaningful to me. Setting up like I think I can figure out how to take this banner off now, huh? Anyway, figuring out how to take what your ancestors have taught you and honor that in your life. Understanding the themes that keep playing out over and over. Since it's haunted, to whom do you owe an apology? Write a letter to them upon this page. You can also apologize to yourself if you feel the need to do so. So again, that's the Seasons of the Witch journal. I do think it should be on the website, but if it's not, just send us a whisper or a DM or something like that. We'll make sure to get it to you. Again, I appreciate you all bearing with me for this kind of casual live here, but I'm just going to kind of talk to you like I would my friend and tell you all my favorite things here. Trust me, I spend a decent amount of my time looking around and deciding what it is that I want to buy. So, and what I want to work with and what feels really important to me. I love unpacking the boxes and kind of seeing what we get in. And I hope that you all feel the same way, kind of with the stuff that I picked here. I picked a lot of decks that are kind of shadow work based and personal power based. Again, just to go along with the theme of the eclipse and the theme of Friday the 13th and all of this other stuff that we got going on right now. So let me see. These are the Witch's Wisdom cards. So this is the box here. Honestly, when I first saw these, I wasn't sure what I thought about them because they're very like kind of how you think of like witchcraft in movies, right? I was very, and they're gilded silver too. I always add that in there because that is, the visual appeal is important to me. So, Pentacle though, respect. What's its name? Ritual, invocation. So all of these meanings, which is hat, power, are pretty obvious or intuitive when it comes to the meanings of the oracle cards here. There's one for Yule, your staff. So this deck, I just really liked how it kind of honored and almost like capitalized on the TV and movie aspects of witchcraft. Not saying that we don't use all of those things in our practice, but more so, I do actually like that it's almost like a little cheesy in a way. Not normally the artwork that I go for, but it's funny that I just flipped it and opened to this one when we're talking about Samhain. So it says ancestors and remembrance. All right, Instagram people, I'm going to see if I can figure out how to switch this. I think there's only one of you watching anyway, but all right, there we go. Much better. So, ancestors remembrance. So there's also one that I'm sure we're going to be ordering that I don't know if Sandy's on here, but she has another one. It's like the Green Witch or something like that, I think, or Kitchen Witch maybe. But oh my gosh, the cards are so cute. But yeah, that silver gilding, it just adds a level of kind of magic and beauty to the cards. I'm going to kind of just spread them out this way so you all can see the artwork style. Okay, at the May. Yeah, so, and again, this is the Witch's Wisdom Oracle cards. I know that Sandy really likes this. You might recognize Sandy from some of the book reviews that we've done. And I think she might actually read too with Melissa on Wednesday evening sometimes. But anyway, very, very cool cards. The Witch's Wisdom cards are my favorite out of that bunch. But again, not sure if these are on the website or not. If they're not, just send us a whisper or DM. We'll definitely get them out to you. Okay. So unfortunately, I did not bring my cards for this deck. I forgot that I had done a reading with them and didn't bring them up. I'm going to do my best to just do them justice because they are so cute. So this is called the Cozy Witch. Cozy Witch Tarot Deck. Okay. Instagram, Cozy Witch Tarot Deck. It is, first of all, just like cottagecore to the max. Okay. Love, love, love. Hi, Kira. Love cottagecore anything. I love cozy anything. I'm a Taurus moon, so naturally, like, that is just my vibe. So I was gonna get this deck anyway, if I'm gonna be honest. But the thing that I loved the most about it, and keep an eye on our TikTok and stuff, because I will post a flip through of this a little bit later on. But this is the back of the deck, and it kind of shows you some of the cards. It's really not doing it justice, but I'm going to show you anyway. The thing that I love about this Cozy Witch deck is it gives a little meaning at the bottom of each card. So it's really great for beginners while still being like a theme deck. Yeah, I am streaming on multiple platforms, so I should be on Instagram as well right now. And then I think TikTok or just Twitch. But yes, multiple platforms for sure. So yeah, definitely give us a follow over there as well. But so yeah, Cozy Witch deck. What I like too is when it's giving meanings about the card. It's not just like one random keyword type of thing. It's almost like a phrase that you have to internalize in a way and recognize how that applies to you. So one of the ones is like the devil. It's saying like you might have toxic witches around you, right? That is what the devil is about, and that meaning is the same. But first of all, the card's just a little bit nicer. The card is called Toxic Witch. And then again, it has that meaning at the bottom that sort of helps you understand what to take away from the card. The other thing I like about this deck is that even if it changes the names of the major arcana cards in the guidebook, it tells you what is different. So, or what it's supposed to be. Okay, so you asked, what are your opinions on using spreads as opposed to intuitively pulling and reading the cards that show up? I'm going to be honest with you. This is something I tell everybody that I read with, and also like other readers when they see me read, is I'm very chaotic when it comes to how I read. I really don't use spreads. I just kind of throw them down and read intuitively. Normally I can kind of know what it's trying to tell me. The other thing with tarot that's really important to pay attention to is if specific numbers are showing up more than once. Like if you have a lot of fives, that's a lot of conflict, a lot of push and pull. What suits are showing up, if the people that are in cards are facing each other or facing away. And there's different ways that you can interpret each card. So it's pretty important to know how you want to take it depending on the situation. That's why sometimes it is a little more difficult to read for ourselves. It takes like a level of honesty, but we all should have that, and strive to be able to be real with ourselves. Getting off topic though, but point being that I really don't use spreads. Sometimes maybe I'll do like a past, present, future, or one is like problem, solution, outcome, or like choice 1, choice 2 type of thing, outcome. But most of the time, no, I don't use a spread. I just kind of throw cards down randomly and go off of intuition. And that has been where most of my most profound readings have kind of come from. But thank you so much for asking that, by the way. And I do read here. I have a day. I'm here on Wednesdays, so you can book a reading with me in person on Wednesdays. Then I do think my availability is open as well on Zoom to do readings too. So definitely, if you ever wanted one, just let me know. So I use the cards and then, other stuff as well. And honestly, these decks that I'm talking about are like a lot of the readers' favorites. I normally go off of what other readers like to kind of get advice on, maybe where I should go from there. So now this deck I have not seen a lot of people talking about, which is so surprising to me because I'm literally obsessed with it. So this is called the, Universal Folk Oracle. So while this isn't necessarily Samhain themed or shadow work themed or Friday the 13th themed or eclipse themed, it does have the part about shadow work. It talks about the universal folk oracles, so different archetypes that show up in all these different folk tales and stories. Can you explain my personal method a little more and give your social media contacts? Yeah, so my personal social media, my Instagram is myspiritusmundi. You can always find me on Goddess Elite's website as well to book a reading in the shop or via Zoom. As far as my own personal reading style, so most of the time, things just will pop into my head as I'm flipping cards. So I'm flipping, but then also I'm getting impressions in other ways. So maybe somebody sits down and I hear dad. I'm immediately going to ask, okay, is your dad living? Is he passed? And kind of work through that with them. Normally when you sit down, you want to just, I have like a little kind of blessing or a prayer that I say, talking to my ancestors and my guides, just letting them know to kind of illuminate the path that's best for everybody. And yeah, just see what comes up. I think the most important thing when you're reading tarot cards is not to dismiss the information that you're getting. If you pull a card and it might not fit along with what it's supposed to be, go along with what feels right to you. So sometimes they're super literal, like somebody gets a chariot and you're like, yeah, how's that car doing? Like, did your car break down? Are you looking to get a new car? Other times, though, that could be something completely different. So I was talking about the journey of life and talking about bumps in the road and having to choose a path and stick with it. So basically just trust yourself to really understand what the cards are trying to tell you. Don't take everything so literally. I think sometimes where people get mixed up is they try and follow the rules so much that like they try and follow the rules and then they're actually limiting themselves a little bit. So that's why sometimes Oracle is easier to start with. A lot of the decks I'm showing are Oracle decks, and that's just because there isn't like a specific length, or I'm sorry, a specific structure to the Oracle deck. So yeah. Hello, everyone joining. Hello. Okay, sorry, got sidetracked, but I was talking about the Universal Folk Oracle. So this is the back of the cards. It's got the woodpecker, two of them actually. Oops. Which, funny story is before I bought this deck, I had a woodpecker. To me is signs of my ancestors and signs of like shadow work. And the reason being because you're digging, right? They're getting into the depths and wanting to uncover things. So that is why I kind of associate woodpeckers with them. And my mediumship was opening up and I looked out my door and there are two woodpeckers just sitting on a branch. And then I bought this deck because I'm like, this looks like an ancestor deck, right? And what do you know? On the back of the cards, two woodpeckers. So that was super, super cool to me. And kind of just a sign that I was supposed to get them. But anyway, Universal Folk Oracles. I'm going to show some of the cards for these because truly they're so pretty. It kind of has like Slavic type artwork. So this one's a lot of reference to animals and stuff too, which I love. This one says Manifest Dreams, Journal, and Sleep. This one, beautiful color palette. Healing. Cleanse, hydrate, dissolve, purify. So just showing more of these here. So yeah, that's another deck that I really like. I think it would fit along with this theme very well. I'm going to show probably one more, I think, maybe two more, and then hop on off. Unless you guys have any questions for me, feel free to ask. I'd be happy to answer. I have been reading cards since I was 12, professionally since I was probably about 18. I'm now 27, about to turn 28, so I've almost been reading professionally 10 years. So I would love to answer any questions that you have and just kind of clear things up. Hi, Eileen. Oh my gosh, I miss you. Hello. All right, I want to talk about this deck really quick. Okay, Tarot of the Sorceress. Okay. The artwork on this deck is beautiful. That's the back of it there. It's big homage to like the Wheel of the Year. And it goes by the elements too, so not just the suits, it talks about the elements. Page of Water. Yeah, so, well, before I hop off, I'm just going to give a little bit of tips, I guess, for Friday the 13th. So even if you can't join our event for the bonfire, it is something that you can try and even do, of just focusing on how you can kind of turn your luck over and how you can take control, basically. So how you can take control of your own life and transform. So that's why the class is called like the Fires of Transformation. We can either go along with it or, drag our feet, but either way it's happening. So just be ready to embrace the change. Be ready to kind of work with that energy of the eclipse and just do your very best to remain calm. But anyway, I'm going to hop off. But thank you all so much for listening, and you have a very, very lucky Friday the 13th.